When his owner left him, he sobbed uncontrollably. However, an amazing occurrence occurred a few days later. As many of us are aware, there is a proverb that reads, "Dogs are man's best friends, and for good reason." From ancient times when they assisted us in finding food to the present, when they just provide us affection and company. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. Why we adore these four-legged dogs so much is not surprising. Sadly, as this unfortunate pooch discovered the hard way, not everyone shares the same sentiments. Even though many people like their dogs, there are situations when they are unable to maintain the care they require. Despite their best efforts, people may end up giving their animals to shelters during these hard times, since it is the greatest thing they can do for the health and well-being of the animals. It quote. As still very sad and hard for the animals to adjust to their new life without the family they had previously been with, even though it could be preferable for them to be given to a shelter in the hopes that they might ultimately find a new permanent home that can take adequate care of them. AJ and Toby, two dogs, tragically experienced this back in 2016. The canines were turned over to the California-based Carson Animal Shelter by their parents, who could no longer afford to care for them. AJ was a really lovely dog that was a mix of pit bull and Labrador. Originally, the animal shelter received him and his brother Toby together. Toby was another dog the family had kept, not AJ's littermate. The two dogs behaved as though they were from the same litter since they had grown so close. The dogs behaved perfectly when they were initially turned into the shelter. The shelter described AJ as a gorgeous, energetic dog who was also quite amiable. The dog enjoyed being fussed over, and curling up with the personnel at the shelter as they showered him with affection was one of his favorite activities. But as time passed, AJ started acting strangely. It was evident that the dog grew more apprehensive and anxious the longer he stayed at the shelter. The animal was obviously aware of a problem. Where were his parents, and why hadn't they arrived to collect him yet? Not only that, but Toby and AJ couldn't stay together in the shelter due to its fullness. As a matter of fact, the Carson Animal Shelter was unable to house Toby and had to send him to another kennel. For the sad puppy, things only appeared to grow worse when he was separated from his sibling. AJ quickly developed severe depression. The 6-year-old dog stopped eating or would only have little meals. Furthermore, AJ's body appeared to be giving up as well, as he rapidly had a cold. Staff members at the shelter were worried about the dog but had no idea what to do. The dog's circumstances were causing him to give up totally. He just started to shut down because he was so confused and upset about what had occurred. The personnel at the shelter became worried for the animal's health as this went on for a few days. They were aware that things may rapidly go worse if the dog didn't start eating regularly again. Once the dog had been wailing day and night for his missing family, and the shelter personnel had been seeing him decline for a few days, someone had a wonderful idea. They came to the conclusion that sharing the news about AJ and Toby on social media would be the most effective method to spread the word. A video of AJ with what appeared to be tears in his eyes was uploaded. The dog was seen resting on his bed and seems forlorn in the heartbreaking video. One service member attempted to soothe and quiet the clearly shaken and wailing animal since he was so disturbed. It was very evident that AJ was struggling with serious abandonment issues and that nothing was helping him cope with being abandoned. The shelter captioned the video on Facebook with the following: "AJ is a 100% pure, sweet, gentle, loving beauty. He misses his sibling and adores other dogs. He needs your assistance right now since he is shutting down and has a cold." The shelter requested that people share the video once it was posted online in order to reach as many people as possible. If enough people watched the video, they thought, maybe someone would come forward to foster or maybe adopt AJ and Toby, so the two dogs could be together and in a more comfortable place, which would help with their separation anxiety. Soon enough, the video was receiving a lot of attention. When the video was uploaded on the internet on February 2nd, 2016, it quickly received millions of views and responses from users worldwide. When internet users saw the upset dog, they were so moved that many of them wrote him supportive and kind remarks. The amount of support for the unfortunate abandoned dog was so great that the shelter was overrun. Their strategy had succeeded beyond their wildest expectations. Their cry for assistance had been viewed by millions of people worldwide, suggesting that someone had to be able to assist the brother and abandoned dog. The dog was unaware that he was becoming the focus of attention, even with all of the positive attention that AJ had been receiving. Rather, the animal persisted in crying day and night, only hoping that his owners would come back and he could resume his regular life with his sibling. Regretfully, even though AJ would never be able to go back to live with his birth family, there was still someone who wanted to support the dog. AJ cried in his kennel for days until the most amazing thing happened. He got a new home. As it happened, someone had watched the heartbreaking footage of the puppy and realized they had to step in and assist Dot. The guy who was searching for AJ arrived to the animal shelter just a few days after the video went viral. Upon arriving at the premises, the individual informed the staff that they had watched the video and that they were unable to watch the animal in such pain. Therefore, they decided to adopt AJ and provide him with a better life. The news delighted the personnel, who were also immensely happy that their strategy had succeeded. In the hopes that the dog would also warm up to his possible new owner, they excitedly introduced the individual to AJ. Following a few hours of greetings and getting to know one another, the new owners decided they had met their lifelong companion. After that, they had to go in order to complete the necessary papers and become the legal owners of the pit bull mix. It didn't take long for AJ to get to his new permanent home. The shelter updated those who were curious about what had happened to AJ on their Facebook page with another post following the dog's formal adoption. This beauty captivated the hearts of many, and today he was lucky enough to take his freedom walk out of the shelter. The post with a photo of the dog said, "Even though AJ still has a cold, he has brightened up since being in a loving family again and leaving his kennel." However, the shelter wanted to make sure the dog was as content as possible. In order to reunite AJ and his brother, they decided to attempt to bring Toby to their shelter after he was adopted by another dog. Before Toby could be adopted by the same family as AJ, they had to return him to the shelter so that the latter may meet and get to know him before deciding to adopt two dogs. In addition, it would give the shelter time to evaluate the puppy's health and behavior in order to find him a suitable home in the event that AJ was unable to take him home. Fortunately, the team was able to help Toby adjust to his new surroundings, even though it required a great deal of love and care. The puppy eventually settled down and was taken in by the same devoted family. These cute pups have a second shot at life because of individuals like the Carson shelter workers and the compassionate lady who adopted AJ and Toby. Please leave a comment below with your thoughts on this video. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.